What's up, buddies, and welcome to a new series on the channel. Right, today we are going to be using the state-of-the-art, never wrong, never unmaking sense, never erratic WWE 2K19 universe mode to predict the next year of WWE programming from WrestleMania 35 to WrestleMania 36. As you can see, these are all your Raw champions. We have Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, Bobby Lashley, the Intercontinental Champion, The Revival, your Tag Team Champions, Ronda Rousey, your Raw Women's Champion, and Sasha Banks and Bayley, the Boss and Hug Connection, as your Women's Tag Team Champions that can appear on both brands. These are your SmackDown Champions, the new Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, the Usos, Asuka, and of course the Women's Tag Team Champions that also can appear on both brands. With that being said, we did our best to update every single superstar to their literal current actions within WWE, and what I mean by that is with Daniel Bryan, we've got him set to being booed, there it is, and we've got him set as allies with Rowan, enemies with the New Day, and he's also a manager, being managed by Eric Rowan, I should say. As for rivalries, you can see we've tried to keep it as realistic as possible. Heading into WrestleMania 35, we got Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, what could be Roman Reigns versus Drew, and a women's tag team rivalry which is clearly developing at the moment. For SmackDown, we obviously have Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. We have Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, which has been ongoing for ages, and we have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, which will also be a WrestleMania match. So yeah, here we go. We have the host Alexa Bliss basically cutting a promo about herself. Let's see. So that was simulated, didn't give us anything there. So we have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. I don't want to choose the winner, randomised winner. So WWE thinks Randy Orton will win that. Next, we don't have every match on the card, obviously, because you can't fit every match on there, right? But we have what I believe will happen, a 6-man battle royal or something to that effect for the United States Championship. Now, you can already see the roots of R-Truth, Andrade Cien Almas, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe getting into that title picture. That at the moment is only down as a one-on-one thing, but I believe those other two will get involved, and I can't see them leaving Rusev and Nakamura off the Mania card. That would be horrendous. So again, randomised winner, and they think Samoa Joe will retain. Wow, that's quite likely. Obviously these matches are in no specific order, just the way I put them in. Kofi Kingston will get his match against the champion, and Daniel Bryan is expected to win that. Wow, that's a shocker. So next we have a Raw, I keep saying Raw Women's Tag Team, but the Women's Tag Team matches. So randomise that, and bloody hell, they think Sasha Banks and Bayley will retain on that. I don't know what the hell Triple H versus Aleister Black is doing there. That was Batista. Wow. Why that's changed, I have no idea, but let's pretend Aleister Black is Batista. They think Triple H is going to win that, and considering his golden shovel, that's pretty honest. I mean, I'm annoyed at that, because that was Batista literally 2 minutes ago before I started this video. Right, I believe that Kurt Angle will face off against John Cena. If he don't, it'll literally be a travesty. Let's not even think about that being the case rather. So we'll randomise the winner on that. John Cena to retire Kurt Angle. Sadly, looks like it's gonna be. Elias will have his concert and call out the Undertaker, in which the Undertaker will come and destroy him, most likely. And what I believe should and probably hopefully will be the real main event, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. Now unfortunately, just before we simulate this, I can't put every title match on here. Personally, I think we're going to have like a triple threat for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It'll be Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville versus Asuka. Asuka will probably win that, and we'll have a normal tag team match, which probably the Usos will retain on, right? So that's that. The winner here, and wow, WWE 2K has Ronda Rousey retaining the Raw Women's Championship, so that is incredible. A brief look at what WWE has planned for us today, right, for the Raw post WrestleMania. Wow, dude, they literally didn't take anything out of the WrestleMania card. I mean, they still have Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins feuding. Those two definitely won't wrestle a match. And they actually have John Cena appearing full time as well, which I doubt will happen. We will simulate into a new year. So, as you guys can see, we have simulated up to Backlash, which was actually only about 2 weeks away. I don't know why, but Universe Mode really does have terrible spacing within their Universe Mode. So basically, this is Backlash, and I honestly have no idea what matches they put in. So we have Andrade Cien Almas versus Samoa Joe for a United States Championship. They have Joe winning that. Shelton Benjamin and Aiden English, what a random tag team that is. And they lose their tag team title match to the Usos. AJ Styles and Randy Orton still fighting it out. AJ Styles wins that one. R-Truth, I should say Carmella, accompanied by R-Truth, loses to Asuka. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch still going at it post WrestleMania. Becky Lynch picks up the win on that one. John Cena against seemingly Rusev, a full-time John Cena, it looks like. What is this? This is Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan again in a WrestleMania rematch, which Kofi Kingston loses again. So with that being said, we're going to check on the rivalries for SmackDown. Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan still going at it. I mean, damn, this looks huge, man. So Daniel Bryan been on a bit of a winning streak. Aleister Black faced off against Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston faced off against Daniel Bryan, and then, which was a no contest, and Daniel Bryan beat Kofi for the belt. Becky Lynch has been winning. Mandy Rose even got a victory over Charlotte Flair. Wow, that's pretty damn crazy. And this one's been pretty much back and forward the whole time. On Raw, we basically have Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins going at it. Triple H is in there for some reason. Tensions explode around champion and challenger. Wow, okay. So stuff is building nicely there. Roman Reigns and Drew still in a fight, and so are the women's tag team champions. Daniel Bryan is still on top. Rusev and John Cena. Rusev actually attacked John Cena before the match. Becky Lynch defeated Charlotte Flair. AJ Styles defeated Randy Orton. Luke Gallows and Kyle Anderson forced their way into Jimmy and Jey Uso's match. Randy Orton came down to ringside. Wow, man, I'll tell you what, they've not exactly done a lot. So right now we have skipped ahead to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which is only 3-4 weeks from the last time. So here we are at Extreme Rules, right, and Dolph Ziggler versus Bobby Lashley. That will be for the Intercontinental Championship, and Dolph Ziggler, a returning Dolph Ziggler, wins the Intercontinental belt. Tony Nese and Noam Dar in the rivalry. That must be from 205 Live. That match was apparently a disaster. That's probably what Vince thought of it. The Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line, and they retain. The Boss and Hug Connection retain. Lio Rush loses to Lindsay Dorado. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre picking up perhaps a surprising, I should say, win there. And Cedric Alexander wins the vacant Cruiserweight Championship, and Seth Rollins gets yet another crack at the Universal Champion and fails again. So to end off this episode, we're going to check who owns what championship. We got Brock Lesnar still Universal Champion with an iron grip Dolph Ziggler winning the Intercontinental Championship off of Bobby Lashley. The Revival still tag team champions, whether that's because they're actually defending it or not getting booked, who knows. Ronda Rousey retained at WrestleMania and is sticking around. No Money in the Bank holder yet, obviously, and the Boss and Hug Connection are still the women's tag team champions. Daniel Bryan, wow, the SmackDown championship picture is basically the same. Daniel Bryan versus Daniel Bryan still. Wow, the SmackDown title picture is still the same. Daniel Bryan is still your WWE champion. Samoa Joe impressively still United States Championship. The Usos are still the tag team champions. Asuka is your SmackDown Live Women's champion, and of course the Boss and Hug Collection are still your women's tag team champion. As far as rivalries go, we have an interesting one with Ronda Rousey due to start a rivalry with Ember Moon. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre are definitely picking their spots with each other. Roman Reigns tries to speak out about the crisis. Drew McIntyre cut him off. These two look like they're going ahead mostly on the microphone. That's been a long-term thing. And the Revival were up against the B Team, was one of Raw's main rivals. Going over to SmackDown, however, and it still looks like Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan have got a lot to sort out. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair still going at it. AJ Styles and Randy Orton causing nothing but misery for each other. Anyway, that's going to be it for this series. Next, we're going to skip ahead to Money in the Bank. Wow. We're going to skip ahead to Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. Those will be our next two pay-per-views. So we're going to do that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this experimental episode. I just thought it would be fun to see, to be honest, how WWE handles, or should I say specifically WWE 2K handles their rivalries and their universe mode if you basically leave it on autopilot. What's funny is that it is actually kind of like WWE in the sense that they literally just seem to be on autopilot, picking the most random of feuds, and more surprisingly, although maybe not, is the fact that it's so repetitive. Anyway, I do hope you have enjoyed this episode. There will be probably another one depending on how well this is received. It's certainly interesting for me, given I've been putting a lot of effort into my own Becky Lynch themed universe Road to WrestleMania recently. And thank God I am, because this thing just seems to be on autopilot. Most shockingly, I am very pleased that Aleister Black seems to be making an impression. That's something I definitely didn't expect, along with maybe someone like Undertaker being ranked 10 in the power rankings. Anyway, until next time, I'm out. Peace.